A wise person once said, if you want to ride a bike, you have to learn to fall at least once. Well, I made that up. But the majority of people learning to ride do fall a few times before they succeed. But not in my case. Believe it or not, I had never fallen from a bike. So how is that relevant? We are living in an era where everything is growing and changing rapidly. Maybe today you're using Google, and then boom, ChatGPT appears. And then these replacements kept growing and growing that it seems like anything can be replaced within tomorrow. Everything is now a race, and everyone has their own strategy. And mine is not to make mistakes. Do not fall off the race because I'll lose time. And I don't have time to make a mistake and then correct it. That tactic of mine followed me since I was a little child. When the other children usually run for very fast and then ended up falling, losing a tooth, crying, I never do that. I always look out for my steps. I never jump, never run, never climb on anything. Basically, I never do anything stupid that will likely to injure me. And because of that, my parents had always been impressed at how careful I am. They said that I am going to accomplish something big in the future because of my conscientiousness. And so, I kept on my strategy. When I go to school, I always make sure that the teachers got a good impression on me. And because of that, I never raised my hand. Like I remember myself thinking how weird it is for the kids to scramble to answer the questions. Why were they taking the risk of having the wrong answer and then got embarrassed in front of the whole class? And I was right, because you know what, in middle school, no one wants to raise their hands anymore. But not only in school, I also careful in everything. Like learning to ride a bike, I also learned skate rolling, and I also didn't fall. My teachers were really surprised. They said that I have the aptitude, that I am a good student, and that they had never seen any girl having her first day without falling. But then, this strategy of mine started to show some drawbacks. Because I never raised my hand, I never really understand the lessons. Because I was not pointing out what don't I understand. And despite having a good start, I never really get good at skating or riding. And the thing is that the kids that fell almost constantly then became better than me. Yes, I got jealous, but I still didn't want to fall like them because it seems too painful. But at the same time, I also felt that something was wrong. Whenever people ask about my hobby, I just said, I don't know. And because I never truly tried anything, I don't know what I like or don't like or what am I good at. Every day, I wake up with tiredness, work for long hours at school, go back home, study again until bedtime, and then wake up the next day feeling exactly the same. I got no dream, no passion, no hope, and no expectation. And what else would I do, really? I got no potential, I'm not smart, I'm not a genius, I'm not pretty. So just get used to a life like this. At least I'm still on the race. I'm not the last one. So what is there to complain about? I am still on the race, and the wheel is still doing its job, running. But then life happened. I quit my school. No, it doesn't mean that I was expelled or anything, but I quit my current school so that I can find an online one. But people still look at me with wondered eyes. They ask me why would I do that? That I was about to go to high school and I was supposed to make it perfect so that I can go to college easily. And frankly, I didn't know either. It was my first impulsive decision. Well, the initial plan was to spend 3 months of my summer so that I can find a school. But then things weren't exactly easy as I thought. I didn't know anything. How the curriculum worked, how can I graduate, how much would it cost. I was lost. And at the same time, my friends were going to school without me. And I started to compare them to myself. And a feeling of being left behind when everyone is moving forward grips me. I tried to comfort myself, to console myself, but my tears kept coming out. And I regretted. I chose the wrong way, and now I'm left behind. I locked myself in the room, crying almost every day. I forced myself to be productive like people, to learn things on the internet instead, and to find a school. But it still hurts. It hurts so bad that I felt like my body was giving up on me, that I was going to die. I felt an extreme pain in my chest, and at night I couldn't sleep because all I could listen to was my heartbeat. Like it was screaming for help because it was too painful to take. Every breath that my lung breathed out just getting harder and harder. And then I go to the doctor. He said that my physical health is totally fine, but my health is having a problem mentally. He said that I was too stressed or going through bad stuff in my life. And almost immediately, I denied it. I remember myself looking into the mirror and said, I'm fine. You're fine. So stop crying, stop whittling, and stop making those fake symptoms and focus on the important things already. But then my body disobeyed me. My health only got worse and worse and worse. I went to the hospitals many times, but with only one problem and one reason, the doctor said: my mental health. I hated myself so much because I made that stupid choice. And I thought maybe I was cursed. But now I realized maybe I was cursed, but by myself, forcing me to never make a mistake. Now I want to ask you guys a question. What is the first thing you do in a day? Well, for most of you listening to this, I'm quite sure that the moment you open your eyes, you will pick up your phone and start scrolling. Every day, every single morning, we come across many people on social media with multiple achievements. Someone with 100% scholarship, someone with an ideal body, someone who makes millions of dollars a year. It may be inspiring, but also a reminder that we are a lot behind than people out there. But do people always look like that? Let's take an example. Well, when I showed this to people, they were really surprised. They said, I'm such a good player. But they didn't know that it was not a whole progress. You see, I also made a lot of mistakes while recording it. So, like that, people on social media don't post it when they fall, when they fail. They only post when they already succeed. But then we ended up comparing ourselves to them. And we thought that we must also be perfect. So, at first, not making mistakes seems like a good idea. But it only means that I have never tried enough. And after that, when I saw people making mistakes or becoming better than me, I still couldn't risk it. Because I was too scared. Because I had never risked before. And it seems too scary. Perhaps that was the reason for my impulsive decision. There was an urge calling me to get out of my comfort zone, to try things without thinking too much about the future, about the risk I might take, to get out of that loop of the wheel that soon had tired me. And then I broke my wheel, my main vehicle, and I thought that was a wrong decision. And up until now, I still don't know if it's a right decision or not. But because I made that decision, I've learned new things, that any problem can be solved if you're persistent enough. After having almost a year without school, leaving my friends, and suffer from my mental health, I had finally found a proper school to go to. And more than expectation, I had more control of my time, and thereby I can meet my friends, and also to explore myself, to know what I like or dislike, to try new things that I have never tried before. And that included this contest. I swear, if I was the person before, I wouldn't have the gut to participate in a competition because I was too scared to lose. Perhaps there is no right or wrong choice because after going through hard times, you will learn lessons afterward. At the beginning, I thought that this life is a race, but it isn't. It is a journey. People come to this life making countless mistakes and thereby learn new things afterward. And if there is a final goal, you will stop moving and you will stop learning. And that is the beauty of life because you will never stop growing, you will never stop learning as the world develops. You don't need to become anyone. You just have to become a better version of yourself day by day, slowly. After being afraid to fall so much, I've learned to fall. After hating myself so much, I've learned to love myself. And because I broke my will, I had found a way to reinvent it. So just keep falling, keep making mistakes, keep hurting and crying if you want, and keep finding a way to reinvent your wheel or your vehicle. Thank you.